Hello and welcome back to Suzerain with me, your host, Parallax. In the last video, we found out that our wife doesn't love us. How wonderful is that? And two, we had to make a couple of choices about who we were going to investigate, and we decided to investigate the oligarchs and not the old guard. Even though the old guard would help us pass reforms, breaking the oligarch stranglehold on the country will help the economy. My idea is if we can get the economy moving forward, then the wave of support will get us elected to our second term. Then we can use those police to investigate the old guard and thus cement my legacy. Two, we had a wonderful meeting about the armed forces of our country, and I wanted to shrink the armed forces and then use that money to buy better equipment. But then we decided having 200,000 unemployed soldiers walking around during a economic downturn would probably not be the best thing for our country. Now, we have a couple of things. I think this is education reforms. We have a young sword arrested, and my highway nears completion. Wonderful. We also have two big exclamation points. One of those is a trade deal with Angola. That trade deal probably is going to take us down to -7, but they'll become our ally against Rumburg. And then this trade deal down here will probably bring us back up to -6, because we're going to just, whatever they want, we're going to give it to them in order to get a trade deal, because the economy needs to be moving forward. We need momentum, and we need to get this spending under control. Well, let's go ahead and look at our reforms. The Ministry of Education is reporting that the massive overhaul to the education system is progressing very well. All schools in Sorlin will collaborate in the reduction of hours taught in citizenship, soulism, and nationalism subjects. Significant efforts are being made to lessen the political indoctrination in the education. Other changes are also happening in the curriculum. Pedagogical improvements like improved teacher-student relations and the emphasis on critical thinking development have begun all across in the entire country. Minister Walda reports solid progress on many fronts, with few schools delaying the transitions on political grounds. Lovely. A young sword was arrested. The police were ambushed during their raid of the suspect building. In the firefight that broke out, 4 militants were killed and 10 more have been arrested in the aftermath. Unfortunately, an officer was also killed during the firefight. And that's weird because, again, our order, we have the nationwide protests quelled, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe the very last reverberation. The highway. The H3 highway running from Leshaven to Havenroy. It goes up here, but I thought it was supposed to go all the way up here, and it was supposed to terminate in Stallport. But I guess now it's... Oh, did I just lose that? Great. I just lost that. My goodness. I'm so sorry. It's nearing completion. I hope that it was just saying all good things. I'll tell you what, just to help my ego, I'm going to do this trade deal first to get to -5. Then I'm going to do this one to go down to -6. I don't want to go to -7 and then to -6. Maybe something happens. If he gets to -7, maybe it trips more bad things throughout the country. So let's just do this one first. Alright. Trade talks with the president of Wayland. Sorlin 1's flight from Holsar to Warsachalazia took approximately 5 hours. Despite heavy turbulence, I managed to sleep a little. Along with Simon and David, we landed at the international airport of the capital city. Our aim here was to finalize the trade deal drafted between Sorlin and Wayland. Shortly after our plane landed, the door opened and the sun blinded me. For a moment, I stepped outside. I saw the soldiers line up on either side of the red carpet. There must have been at least 100 soldiers. The marching band started playing, and the soldiers immediately saluted me. Salute the soldiers. At the bottom of the stairs was waiting for me next to a military jeep with a few soldiers by his side. There were a few reporters on the side waiting with their cameras. Here he is. He was a tall man, almost as tall as me. He was wearing large sunglasses, and his attire was a regular suit, contrasting with the military attire of everyone else on the field. Mr. President, welcome. He immediately motioned for an embrace. We hugged, and many cameras went off at the same time. He turned around for a couple of additional poses. Pull him aside for a couple of more poses yourself. Thank you for inviting us. Nice to meet you, Mr. President. Now that the pleasantries are done, let's go. We will take the Jeep for a tour. With another tune from the marching band, we boarded the military Jeep. He sat in the driver's seat, and I sat next to him. As we started speeding up, the soldiers saluted again, saluted back. Salute the soldiers, do nothing. Why is it asking me so much about saluting the soldiers, I wonder? Is that some kind of gaffe I don't understand, that foreign soldiers should not be saluted? Why not return the salute? Yeah, return the salute, yeah. My security detail and Victor's detail started following us immediately, along with a team of reporters. We will first go to the city center to see the opening of a statue. I'd rather not waste any time and get straight to business. Whose statue? Sounds exciting. Whose statue? It's mine, of course. Ha ha ha. Almost every corner there was reporters taking photos of us. Oddly enough, every single street that we took seemed completely empty. This is a big photo op for you. It's a good opportunity to show the world our unity in Eastern Merkop. We must show our unified strength to Rumburg. There we are. Oh yeah, he's probably under attack from Rumburg as well, so yeah. We arrived at the city center in the middle of a large plaza. There was a covered statue. Lots of people had gathered behind fences, and they were waving both Sorland and Wayland flags, which are waved back at them. My people have been very supportive of this visit, Mr. President. I'm sure you are delighted to see. The man came closer to the fence and started yelling at Victor. With my limited knowledge of his language, I understood the words Victor and murderer. Almost instantaneously, two soldiers showed up from behind, and the man was taken away. Thankfully, the sun is up. Today will be a good day for the reveal. I see that you know how to handle dissidents. Very good. Let's get this over with. What will happen to the man who is protesting you? Very well. Let's take our places. We took our place in front of the statue with a dull drum roll. The statue of Victor was uncovered. The statue was done pretty well, except that he was made more masculine. He was wearing a cloak and holding a sword in his hand. Excellent statue. Very lifelike. What do you think? I don't have time for these games. Let's go straight to business. It is very good. Very lifelike. Our artist can do better in Sorland. Glad you appreciate the art behind it. Join me for a walk. Give me 2 strudels. Ah, a street vendor. The man behind the stand smiled and gave us 2 strudels. Because I've watched The Sopranos, I'm going to let him pay the street vendor. He simply took the 2 strudels and didn't pay anything. Keep walking. I kept walking alongside Victor. After we walked a short distance to the palace, passing the gates of the palace, we made our way to the main building. Made from ivory-colored stones, the old guard towers flanked the magnificent main building from both sides. The inside of the palace was very spacious, with a very large chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Grand staircases made from the same ivory stone had red carpets on them. Both sides of the upper levels, guards stood with the traditional outfits of the old kingdom. We've finally reached the office of the president. The doors closed behind us. The interior boasted gold ornaments on the walls, ivory colors, and various jewels attached to different artifacts of old. As it was customary in Wayland, we sat down on the carpet. Now we can talk about our trade deal. But before that, he clapped his hands twice. Bring the... Uh-oh. A few assistants immediately enter the room carrying a large, ornated, it's the well-known smoking instrument. Yes, they immediately lit it up, and the room was filled with the smell of tobacco. He inhaled the smoke and handed me... I don't smoke. And it's just between him and I, so now that we're outside the gaze of the public, I can just be me. Your loss. It's the finest tobacco in the land. He took another puff, filling the room with more smoke. So, Mr. President, that's too long. Can I call you Anton? Sure. Anton, tell me, what do you really think about Rumberg? A barking dog doesn't bite. They are a threat that needs to be dealt with. They can go to hell. Not much in particular. They're like any other country. They have their needs and their own agenda. Yes, they do, but their ambitions are over Wayland and Sorland. We must be careful, Anton. I assure you their time will come. Regardless, I would rather prevent further conflict in the region. You know as well as I do, Anton, they are coming whether we like it or not. They are the aggressors, not us. For now, I have something else in mind. What is it? I am listening. He clapped his hands again. The two assistants came in the room with a map of the border regions between Wayland and Sorland. He pointed at the border. Look, these are the people that he doesn't like. This is the ethnic group in his land that he doesn't even want them to flee. He wants them taken care of. I'm going to call them the blurds. I don't know. This game has very weird words, and I don't know how to sound out the letters. It's almost like French, and that I'm sure some of this stuff doesn't even get a sound. It just modifies another letter. I apologize. But if you're watching this long, then you put up with it, so we move on. And their so-called BFF, best friends forever, are causing problems for me in this region. I know that they are also a problem for you as well. I will not allow these traitors to exist in my borders, so I will hit them with all the might of Wayland. These terrorists need to be destroyed. I call it Operation Bear Trap. I don't support any military action this close to our borders. What do you want from me? I like the sound of it. He grinned and he laid back on the large pillow behind him. Here is the deal. I will give you the best trade deal in the region. You will give me your assistance crushing the terrorists on both of our borders. Oh, God dang it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I want to do it. Oh, I need specifics. Sure. My spies have infiltrated BFF cells, and they found caches of KA-74s. We traced them back to Rumberg. This alone justifies my retaliation to protect my country. Worst of all, we also found that similar shipments are going to Sorland. Yes, Anton, you see, this is not just Wayland's problem. Let's take a step back and talk about what you will get in return. I propose you a no-tariff agreement, co-investment projects, and oil. In return, you will assist me in destroying the terrorists in my country. There might be international ramifications. The hell with international ramifications. I will protect my country. I don't care what they say. What I want from you in return for all the money and the resources is a joint operation between our armies against BFF. Right now, the world is in a trade war that they might not come out of anytime soon. Because why would they? Why would they? They just started it. They've not felt the pinch yet. We are screwed. We need money and we need resources. And if we destroy, but this might give Rumberg carte blanche. Like this, not carte blanche. Yeah, I guess carte blanche. But this might give them a casus belli. They're going to come in and they're going to protect the people against us. Oh my god. Are these people anything? Let's see. Relations bad. Military overwhelming. Uh, let's negotiate Sorlin's contribution to the operation. You are a tough one, Anton. Normally I wouldn't offer anything else, but I like you. Here's my final offer. When the operation starts, with or without you, there will be stragglers trying to cross into Sorland. We just want you to support the operation, even if you do not join. Stop the terrorists from fleeing into your country, and you will have your deal. Simple, isn't it? So what do you think? Deal. I knew I could trust you, Anton. Tonight we will drink. He clapped his hands again. Drinks, dancers, and music. A group of dancers and performers entered a smoke-filled room. They performed with their songs. We clinked our glasses to our newly found partnership while sipping sweet liquor. The next day, I returned to Sorland with a hangover. Alright, give me my -5. I've sold my soul to the devil. Give it to me. What did I do here? Diplomacy. Tariff-free oil with Wayland. As per the agreement, all oil imports from Wayland are tariff-free. Perfect. Military. Wayland border defense. Additional military forces are moving to reinforce the border between us and Wayland. Recovered trade volume. Recent successful efforts in signing a new comprehensive trade deal has recovered the trade volume of Sorland to pre-recession levels. Oh, oh, that's good. That's good. That's so good. And all we had to do was just deny people a route to leave to a obviously North Korean type person. Oh, that's good. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's come up here and get this done then. Sorland 1's flight from Holson to Stalagport took 3 hours, but they were very smooth. We were about to touch down. David left his seat and came over while Simon was enjoying his newspaper. It looks like we were about to land, Mr. President. I looked outside. I could see Hegeland, the island between those two countries. So many conflicts over a small piece of land, the island can barely sustain itself without outside help. I know, I was just thinking the same thing. If I was in the shoes of the England Prime Minister, I would do anything to protect the motherland. I don't blame them. It is a very strategic position. I mean, it is a strategic position. Like, it's really nice. But you can't just take things. Thousands of people died fighting for it. I wonder if it was worth it. I suspect it will be one of the topics that Mr. Van Horten will bring up as a bargaining chip. We must be careful. It might be under the control of Angola, but the international community is yet to recognize it for a good reason too. Nobody wants to make an enemy of, especially because of the support of the United. Oh man. I don't care who we are against. We will cross that bridge when it comes to it. Me included, I wouldn't want to do anything to ensure our relationship with them. I agree we should try to do our best to stay in the middle ground. Simon folded his newspaper, got up from his seat, and sat right next to us. Aside from the point of the island, we need to be careful with the additional request. According to the deal that was negotiated so far, they want to sell us their steel for a higher price, and they are requesting easier access to our agricultural markets. In return, they are promising cash flow and investments, especially in the England region. It's not hard to guess why. Precisely. Angolan immigrants in our England region make up a good chunk of the region's economy now. During the initial negotiations, they brought up the topic of immigration many times. The fact that we have relaxed our immigration laws will help tremendously. Let's see if we can shake hands on it. The pilot made an announcement that the descent had started. David and Simon went back to their seats. I took another look outside the window. I could see Stallport's capital. It is the capital city. Cool. The large dockyards in one of the cities. The canals appeared closer as our descent continued. Stallport was certainly a fitting name due to stall meaning canal. A couple of minutes later, we finally touched down. The plane parked. I took a final look from our window. The welcoming ceremony from Angola was waiting along with red carpets outside. After the guards made their way out, I exited the plane. Wave at the crowd. I waved at the crowd that had gathered. There were many cameras flashing. I started to make my way downstairs. The Prime Minister was nowhere in sight. Instead, I was greeted by the Foreign Minister. After handshakes and a couple of photos, I moved to the car where Sergey was waiting to make our way to the office of the Prime Minister. Good day, sir. I hope the flight was comfortable. Yes, it was. Thank you, Sergey. I got in the car and we made our way through the foreign streets. Our convoy was protected by Swedish and Angolian guards in their vehicles. We began driving by the highway beside the port and saw dozens of dockyards and ships anchored. Some of the ships and machinery looked old. The city itself looked very gray and grim. The buildings had a touch of Rumberg's famous architecture with a mixture of shortest signature domes on the older ones. We are now on the main road to the office of the Prime Minister. Looks like they are not happy to see you, sir. What? He pointed at the crowd that gathered on both sides of the street. It was a protest. They were shouting and yelling at our convoy. Some of them held signs written in Shortest. Shortest must pay its debts to Angola. You know, I never knew Angolans were so ungrateful. Not everyone sees a great leader like you every day. You are absolutely right, Sergey. They are so ungrateful. They can yell all they want. There have been many issues in Sorland. I don't know if I call myself a great leader. I wonder what propaganda their state is feeding them. I thought we were okay with these people. Are we not okay with these people? We have good relations. Why didn't their prime minister come and talk to me? Like, why didn't he greet me at the airport? Why am I being yelled at? They are afraid of you, sir. They are scared that Sorland will reach its potential. They don't want to see you as a great hero that you are. We have arrived, sir. They left the car and opened the door. I exited and began to walk to the door where dozens of press and the Prime Minister were waiting for me. I saw the PM much more clearly as I neared the door. He was shorter than I thought. Mr. President, welcome to Angola and to the beautiful city of Stallport. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's great to be here. He reached out for a handshake. The press surrounding us had been waiting for this moment. Overpower his handshake, shake hands, and hug after. Oh, man. Am I going to be a hugger? Absolutely. Because if Rumberg sees this... We shook hands and I went for a hug, which was received well by the Prime Minister. The press went wild and took more pictures. We're good friends. We're going to be allies. He gestured to the entrance to the 200-year-old Parliament building. This way, please. We entered and the press followed us inside. I would like to present you with a gift as a sign of friendship between our countries. An assistant showed up and immediately with a large glass box in her hands. It contained a single parchment inside. This here is one of the first treaties written in between Sorland and Angola, just like the one you have prepared with Mr. Wise before my term. May it mark the renewal of our friendship as well. I hope so. This is an amazing gift. Thank you. Our photos were taken again. I gestured at one of my retainers who was holding our gift to the PM. Gift one of the original copies of the first Constitution of Sorland. Gift a Shoreland bred puppy. Despite he has a known fear of dogs. Given an ornamental ceremonial sword made of Scottish steel. Because he gave us something, with paper and like trade agreement, we're going to give him one of our first constitutions of Sorland, I guess. That seems weird though, because it's like our constitution. Why would we just be giving that to him? The dog is out of the question because we don't want to like be a jerk to him. But this also seems weird because why would we give him steel if they want us to buy their steel? Like, we'd be kind of saying, like, our steel's better? I don't know. Let's do this one. Ah, an excellent copy. I've always wondered what one of the originals looked like. Thank you for this excellent gift. I guess he likes things like that. I guess he's kind of a little history nerd. Let's go to my office. Follow me. I followed him, and we entered the office of the Prime Minister. It was a room of wooden, minimalist decoration. It was far more modest than I expected. We sat down. He leaned back and made himself comfortable. Sheesh, thankfully done with the ceremonies. Are you not fond of the ceremonies? I was just about to say the same thing. I'm not fond of those either. Nod. Are you not fond of the ceremonies? I think they are a waste of time, but alas, that is one of our jobs. He got up from his chair and moved to the bar. There were many varieties of liquor. Would you like a drink, Mr. Ryan? I wouldn't mind some vodka. I will have... just water is fine. We're here on business. As you wish. He poured drinks and gave mine to me before sitting down again. Let's go straight to business. A true gentleman. I can respect that about you, Mr. Horton. What's with the protests outside? Can't you control them? We'll make a little bit of small talk. This is how we do things in Angola, Mr. Ryan. I appreciate the kind words, but flattery alone won't sway me this day. First of all, I would like to say that I have been watching your recent changes to the immigration policy. I'm glad that you have decided to keep it relaxed. Immigrants are very important for beneficial economical development, and we believe that very much in Angola. It is reassuring to see Sorlin move in a more modern direction. Thank you. So tell me, Mr. Ryan, is Sorlin a reliable trading partner to Angola? Not if you keep acting like you have the upper hand. As long as Angola is a reliable trading partner, of course, Mr. Van Horten, you can trust Sorlin. Yeah, absolutely. Why? I mean, we're not going to say anything negative about our country. Very good. He paused for a moment. It was a good move to start building that highway overall. This will positively affect our trade. Well done. Thank you. You are very kind. I didn't do it for Angola. I did it for the people of Sorland. No need for flattery. I give credit when it is necessary. Van Horten leaned back in further contemplation. Let's change the course of our nations. First of all, if we shake hands on it, this agreement is going to be really beneficial to both of us. You should be able to solve your recession in no time with the investment and money flow coming from us. This is, as you know, on top of the reduced tariffs for trade between our countries. Of course, in return, as discussed between my people and your people, you will allow us privileged access to your agricultural markets. You will be buying steel from us at a higher price, which is a small price to pay. Really, that is a deal. What do you say, Mr. Ryan? Accept. Never. No. Oh, yeah. We knew this was going to happen. I thought we were going to get a +1 uptick from the other one, though. It's going to solve the recession. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I thought we were going to get a +1 tick from Wayland, but we didn't get a +1 tick. We gave him what he wants. With we built the highway, and we're allowing for trade. We built the highway, and we're allowing the immigrants to come through. We have relaxed reform in that aspect. So what he's kind of getting two things. Man, it'd be so nice if I could just get away with not a -1. But the only bad thing is I don't know if I can come back to this deal. You know, like I don't know if there'll be a time where I can be like, okay, you know what, I accept -1. Like I don't want this guy to be like, oh, you know what, screw you. You thought we were. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just accept it. -1. We're at -7 now. Oh, I would like to expand on our newly found partnership. We have regional forces like Rumburg that has been imposing danger on both of our countries. I'm of the mindset that we must unite. So, by the powers bestowed upon me as a Prime Minister, I'm offering a military alliance in between Sorlin and Ellen. What do you think? Very well, I accept. That's excellent to hear. Our ministers will now go over the details later. Now that we have gone this far, are we willing to enter an alliance? There's another topic would you like to bring up? As you know, the island has long contested in between these two countries. These warmongers want to take it back, the island. You know that the international community does not recognize our rightful claim on the island, including Sorland. What better act to submit our alliance than announcing to the world that Sorland recognizes that island as their territory? You are asking too much. It is understandable, but I won't push too much on the matter. We have achieved enough for today. Well then, he stood up from his chair. We must continue the official program. As you know, we will pay a visit to our founder's grave for another ceremony. Afterwards, we will move to the state dinner. After you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm skipping some stuff. As soon as we left the office, I briefed Simon and David on the outcome of the meeting. The rest of our state trip was full of fake smiles, handshakes, incredibly long ceremonies, and even longer meetings between our ministers and their counterparts. When we came to the end of the trip, the way back was mostly silent. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief when we touched down in our home. Freedom or peril, achievement unlocked. It was time to discuss the good news. -7 on our budget. Ugh. Ugh. But increased trade volume is now green. Before it was just yellow. Now it is green. New successful trade agreements and a free trade zone have caused an increase in the volume of trade goods between Sorland and the region. Military. We're supposed to have something here. Experienced generals. Border defense. Large reservist pool. The military has a large reservist pool to withdraw from in a time of war. Internal security, outdated. Something happened here. I don't know what it was. I guess we have the large reservist pool now. And diplomacy. Angola priority has entered to priority access and purchase of any agricultural products with reduced tariffs that was produced in Sorland. And you know what? Some of that stuff was down here rotting anyway, so now these people have access to it, so at least it's getting sold. And then we have higher prices for steel. But that's a small... And we're at -7 on our freaking budget. So, yeah. But we have a lot of green, have a lot of orange. Orange isn't... I mean, like red is super duper bad. But the orange and green... Green means it's moving in our favor. Orange means it's kind of bad, but kind of good. Red's just all bad. So, this is looking good. The corruption and organized crime is going to get taken care of. The welfare... I don't even know. The curriculum is going to get taken care of. This is going to get taken care of. And that's going to get taken care of by our reforms. The military is boned. The economy, we should, because we have the increased trade volume, we have small businesses are growing, consistent economy, like we should, if we're doing this right here should pull everybody out. So I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy. I hate that we're at -7, but it wasn't all for naught. Okay, let's go read our newspaper. We have 6. My goodness. Enter an alliance. Hooray! We have allies. The radical journalists arrested. Named a journalist. Yes, yes. Sorland ratified a new trade agreement with Wayland. Ratified a new trade agreement and investment protection agreement. This is a significant development that shows a significant normalization of forest relations for decades of troubles. The most basic level of the agreement will support jobs and growth between the two countries. Sounds great. And I guess these are a terrorist organization. Like, they killed 16 children at a freaking school. So yeah, I think that they're a terrorist organization. Darkness descends! Our respected correspondents and columnist was arrested among several others yesterday. Oh my goodness. New alliance in Eastern. Yeah! New alliance. Playing with fire. Yeah. Unlawful occupation of the island will stop from doing whatever to protect our people. He heavily criticized. We were dealing with an illegal occupation. Yeah. So this guy doesn't like us because now we are in an alliance. And the idea is that we have ships. He has some ships. So now our ships can kind of go against him. And we have an army of 400,000. He only has an army of 150,000. And this right here, this is not a very long Like, we can make that in a day. Like, you can make a couple of trips there, so. But we're not going to be invading them. But the idea is that we're putting pressure on them now. And then this guy down here, we're going to work together. And so now Wayland, Orland, and Angola, like this whole region now is kind of like we're kind of becoming buddies. That's going to keep him in check. He's not going to attack all three of us. And if this guy wants to take over his island, sure, you know. And then this guy down here, he's going to eventually die. Okay, he's going to die, and then when he does, they'll go into civil war, and you know that's bad, but they'll come out of it. They'll come out of it. They got to go through some growing pains. What's this? Oh, rioters arrested. I'm so happy that we no longer have protests, that we have quelled them. Although every now and then we still get rioters arrested, whatever. Okay. What's our last one? What's our last one for this video? What is it going to be here? What is it? Grand National Assembly of Sorlin. Speech of the President on the Reforms. Oh, good. This one should be quick. I came to the Grand National Assembly of Sorlin to deliver a speech regarding the new Constitution and ask for the support of the Assembly before the upcoming vote. I walked quickly through the corridors, giving my greetings to the people on my way toward the Parliamentary Hall. This is where we're going to get assassinated. When I entered the hall, the assembly was in complete chaos. With shouting and cursing between the parties, there was a heavy argument about the proposal made by an MP from NFP. I took my seat inside the special area reserved for the ministers. Gloria was shouting from her seat at the center of the hall as she hit the gavel 3 times, with each strike heavier than the one before. Order! Order! I saw this guy with green eyes standing up from his seat and shouting toward the members of, I think this is our party. Calm yourself, show respect to the procedures of this assembly. Despite her efforts, the arguments continued for a couple of minutes before everyone took back to their seats and finally went quiet. Next time when I tell you to do so, either take your seat or leave the hall, so we can proceed with the procedures of the assembly and continue with our duties. Some MPs from the NFP side shouted back at her in protest. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, if you will allow me to continue, she pointed at me. We have the president here with us today. He has asked to give an important announcement. The assembly fell silent. You have the floor, Mr. President. I walked to the stand as loud clapping started in the USP side, which, if you look, you know, where's the USP side here? Let's go look at it's everybody over here. They love me. That's my peeps. That's the guys who elected me, and then I betrayed them by trying to make the country more democratic and not crap. You know. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. See this right here, ladies and gentlemen, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate because we're here on business. They have titles. They are honorable members of the assembly. Honorable. Oh, she calls them ladies and gentlemen. Oh, she put honorable in front of it. We're going to do that too. Honorable members of the Grand National Assembly of Sorlin, I am here today to raise important questions regarding our outdated Constitution. The Supreme Court holds too much power. Nope, not going to do that. Our election threshold has harmed our democracy more than anything. Nope, not going to lay it there either. Perhaps it's not expected of me to say this, but the president holds too much authority. Our elected assembly has always been overshadowed. By what? What could possibly have overshadowed our elected assembly? I do want to start off with the Supreme Court holds too much power, or I want to start off with the president holds too much power. I think if we start off with that first and we lead with it, if we show that we're willing to give up power, and then we ask the Supreme Court to give up power, I think it'll be much more difficult for them to argue that they should keep that power, because I'm giving up some of my power. And this right here should get people on my side, because at least they'll listen to me, right? Like if you're in a room and there's someone you don't like, and the first thing out of his mouth is something you agree with, you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I kind of, you know, and this is going to be the first thing they hear. I don't want to yell. I don't want to start controversy and then start yelling again. I want them to be placated. So I do think the president holds too much power. Perhaps it is not expected of me to say this, but the president holds too much power, holds too much authority in Swedish politics. In order to strengthen our democracy, we must be brave enough to point out the injustices and faults of our Constitution. The Therefore, we propose changes to the Constitution to prepare Sorland for a more democratic era. We must finally rewrite the Constitution of Sol and break our chains of the past. I call everyone to stand by us to make historic changes to our Constitution and bring it to the standards of today's world. Yep. Applause from my party and from this party. Let's just make sure where are they at. Oh, good. So we got claps from both of those. Very happy to see that. That's the majority. We will break the Supreme Court's authority over constitutional changes. We will rebalance the branches of government to ensure a more democratic process. I think we will break the Supreme Court's authority over constitutional changes. I think that's what I would like to say, but I think the more appropriate way, the more eloquent way, is to rebalance the branches of government to ensure a more democratic process. I focused on change, unity, and peace. Change. We must not be afraid of change. The world is changing, and Sorland needs to change as it has earned. Hold on, I can't read today. The world is changing, and Sorland needs the change it has earned after years of soulism in the last... So you didn't say anything about me bringing up soulism. You just said change, so... Well, I guess we're changing from soulism. I should have seen that coming. We will rewrite the old and make a constitution that would reflect the will of the people and open the way for a democratic Sorland. We will make Sorland great again. Oh, let's not say that. Let's embrace the future. Okay. Just as I was about to continue speaking, Gloria interrupted me. Gloria is a Swordist politician, member of the Assembly. Okay. Mr. President, with all due respect, I believe Sorland is already democratic. Am I going to get to a... No, we're going to tell her that we're not done. And then, because I'm not going to let her derail me from what the speech I'm trying to make. If I start telling her, like if I start talking to her about whatever, then I'm losing the speech, like the points I'm trying to make. Tarquin's soul and his efforts cannot be ignored. We must keep following the path he defined for the Swordish people. I'm sure the honorable members of the USP will see that the president is acting rash by allying with the opposition to destroy the culture of soulism that established Sorland. That was the extent of my quick note. Thank you, Mr. President. That's the floor. That was disrespectful, Ms. Speaker. Please do not try to sabotage my speech. We are not here to destroy soulism nor our cultural values. Who are you trying to provoke, Miss Tory? The USP is behind me. We are not here to destroy soulism nor our cultural values. Act as if it didn't happen. Ask everyone to think clearly about our current situation and join us for change. It is time to make a new constitution together. Ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly, we must set aside our differences. I don't like that she said that. It would be nice if I'm going to act as that didn't happen, and then I'm going to... I know that had the quotations around it, so I was speaking that, but I really hoped it was like I could just get back to speaking instead of doing that. Ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly, we must set aside our differences. It is time to make a new constitution together. I'll ask everyone to think clearly about our current situation and join us for change. Man. I really don't like how they give you one sentence and they don't let you read the entire thing. Like, let me read the entire thing And there'll be one that I think speaks more to what I want to say or how I want to say it. I don't like they just give me one sentence. This group of people is already yelling and screaming at each other. Right when we walked in, they're yelling and screaming. So if we tell them that to join us for change, or to think clear, or if we tell them to think clearly, and or if we tell them to set aside our differences, I really think they're going to be like, well, we can't do that, and they're gonna shut down. So maybe we just go here with, I'm make a new constitution. Be a part of a new era of Sorlin. Join us and vote for our proposal. I ask everyone to support us in the upcoming vote. I demand your votes. Be a part of a new era of Sorlin and join us and vote for our proposal. There we go. Let's write the future together. I will address all the problems of the past in my proposal. USP will change and lead Sorlin to the future. Yep. Salute the crowd. Finish with a poem or salute the crowd. Oh my god, really? We have to pick between saluting them or finishing with a poem? Really? Salute or finish with a poem? Salute or finish with a poem? Let's finish with a poem. Let's do it. There is a destiny above destiny. There is a victory growing with every morning. There is a revolution that is coming. There is a God beyond existence or non-existence. There is my country beyond everything, my beloved. There are songs to be sung in affection of our victories. There is a spring that blossoms out of the graves of our fallen. There is an evil that tortures us and tears me down. No doubt, but do not doubt the one. There is a decision coming from the heavens. Fear not when the dark falls. There is an artist painting in the sun. Do not dare to surrender. There's a victory that grows. There is a victory that grows with defeat. I don't know. Beyond the next morning, there is a victory waiting to be won. The assembly roared with all kinds of different reactions. Some applauses came from the and USB seats. Most of the others started to make loud noises again. Oh, I think we screwed that up. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Speaker. I would just like to thank Mr. President for his speech. We, the People's Freedom and Justice Party, stand in agreement with the need for a more democratic constitution. I would like to thank the ladies and gentlemen of the United Sorlin Party for their more open attitude compared to the past years. As long as Mr. President's words prove not to be just words, we will be behind this much-needed improvement for change. We welcome this attempt. I ask Mr. President to share the final contents of the proposal as soon as possible. Thank you, Ms. Speaker. Suddenly, this guy, God, don't be a dick. The president must have lost his mind to cooperate with the likes of you. You and are nothing but puppets of the Western interests. Order, Madam Speaker. I know you are not. You are in agreement with me as well. Don't stand idly there while this administration is making deals with snakes and undermine the integrity of SOAR. Order. So, the Nationalist Party and her? How many times do I need to say you are speaking out of I demand to speak? Go ahead, Mr. President. The nationalist movement does not agree with your priorities nor the way you are trying to implement them. The Nationalist Front Party will not stand with you on your new constitution. Nationalist Front Party is white. They have 40 members. So this is purple. That is blue. So I guess it's them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, that's 40. Okay, so that's going to be them. So I'm not going to get any of those votes. There's 250 people here. I have to have 166. This guy, he's with me. Or was he an independent? I have no idea who he was. I think he's with me. So I got 70. And then maybe I get a third. Or maybe I get half of this. So I get half of that. That's 70. That's 65 plus 70. So 130. Cool. That's over 116. So I think I got it. I think I'm good. Let it be known that the FPS concerns are not included in the so-called democratic reforms. Thus, Mr. President has no right to claim them as such. We will stand our ground against any attempt to bring to our establishment political culture and national values. Thank you. Went back to his seat, but the chaos in the assembly continued. Asked to speak, leave the assembly. I think we have what we need. Would speaking help? We already know that guy isn't going to support us, and we don't really care. We know that she doesn't like us, but she only supports, I mean, half, right? Maybe. Let's ask to speak. Mr. Iber. I just wanted to thank everyone for their comments. And Mr. Richter Iber. It is you who shouldn't use the word democratic when you want to be more centralized government. We are not specifically cooperating with someone, but everyone. We ask that you also join us. I'm sad to hear your... Yeah, there we go. He watched as he slouched on his seat, legs crossed. Do not stand against change. Be a part of it, Mr. Kyber. We can do so much more together. Don't you dare stand against us. I respect your opinion. I expect your support in the upcoming vote. We will bring change regardless of your support. Thank you. Your time has passed. Mr. Richter. Thank you for the nice words. We'd love to have your cooperation between our parties. Rest assured your concerns will be addressed. Thank you for your nice words. Thank you for your support. We are looking forward to work with the... Yep. I welcome your positive attitude. And thank you, Miss Speaker. Kept shouting and responding to each other, creating a loud mess where nothing was legible. Order, order, this topic is finished. We are moving to our next topic. I slowly left the hall. The shouting could be heard from every corridor of the Grand National Assembly. All right. Is it a new day? Oh, we get to hit the continue button. Oh my goodness, we get to hit the continue button. Oh, and we didn't get assassinated yet. I can't believe it. Our economy is in the absolute crapper. We are completely boned. Our economy has not yet recovered. What is this? Border report. Defense Minister reports that the Western borders have been closed and the divisions of the Third Army are ready for the operation. Great. Great. That's wonderful. Can't wait to sell our soul to get the economy rolling again. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Reported that so far they have been able to get in total 121 signatures behind the proposal. Efforts are underway to increase the support and to reach out to necessary members to reach... Oh, it has to be 150? I thought it was 112. That sucks. I thought it was 116. 150 is a lot different. Holy crap. Okay, well, in the next video, we get to hit the continue button. So please join us for the continue, or should we hit it now? Should we hit it now, or should we wait? We hit it now. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Have a great... Oh, newspapers. President holds too much authority. President Rain has called the Grand National Forum to support the upcoming constitutional change. In his address to the Parliament, the President addresses come after a series of meetings with blah, blah, blah. Perhaps he does not expect me to say this. That's too much power. We must be brave enough to point out the injustice and faults of our Constitution. Walker warns Navy over... They're gonna fight over that. And as soon as they start fighting over that, then this guy's gonna come and attack us. Like, we're boned. And this guy down here... I don't know, man. He's a wild card. He might join Rumberg. He might attack us. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for being with me here today. What a wonderful, wonderful game. This is a great game. I've never played a game like this before, but it is fantastic. I love it. Anyway, have a great day, and we will see you next time.